Alright, I'm going to start off with, you already have your tournament created in Track. The first things I always do is go to Importing and Tournament Settings. And from here you can use one of my tournaments if you haven't run your own. But you hit Get right here, and you go, to the tournament that you want to copy. Here. Just about everything, I guess. I'm going to leave weight classes out for now because we're using a scramble format. We don't know what they are. You may not understand that just yet, but and teams and statisticians, leave that out because we're probably going to use different teams. Leave the groups. See how that messes me up. Separation criteria can get you. Be careful about that. Leave our schemes, belt settings, obviously. Didn't have land card. Mat assignment display. I'll copy that. Period links. And I understand that I'm not importing from their test site. Alright, so I'm going to import that in. It'll take a while. It won't take a while. Alright. That's done. Now what I'm going to show you real quick is importing wrestlers in. They say here that you can do, I haven't tried those yet, import from, you just click here, and another way to get there should be registration and upload wrestlers in. There you go. And it's very blank, and it's not very user friendly. Delimiter is comma, so that's comma delimited. Then you want to set up the columns to however you want to set them up there. Alright. And again, you want to be really careful about some of the things. Weight class, believe it or not, I put that in the extra field because I don't want to define weight classes. We're going to go by actual weight. You'll understand that a little bit better as we move on. And I might even mess this up for you. But here's from last season. Here's the format. I set it up in Excel and copy everything in. Now, this is where I want to get to. I actually like showing, because we're electronic, I like showing the last name and then their division and weight class and then rating like this next as part of the last name, so they can see it on the board when the people wrestle each other and when you get your bout sheet or your scratch sheets and whatnot. So I'll go through how to get there as well in a little bit. Hopefully this won't take too long. So you're going to get them in all kinds of different formats. I got a blank spreadsheet here. I'm going to paste my formatted pretty thing here and kind of remove everything. And you're going to have to do a little work depending on what you get from people. And this has got to match. The team name that you type in here obviously needs to match exactly with the team name that you have in the already in track, which I haven't done yet. And then I got the actual weight and weight class. Like I said, so I don't need that. Age, actual weight class, experience, I don't need that. And then, like I said, just in Excel, it's not too difficult to manipulate and make it say what you want it to say. So I'm just going to see if I remember that. I need space. So, I mean, this is just a handy little trick here to, one little extra thing to do so that people can see easily on the printouts and on the scoreboard or whatever here at wrestling. So, because this is a formula you're going to want to just, and I'm not doing all the other teams right now, you're going to copy and paste as, paste just the value. So you don't get the formula, you get the actual value, so that it imports correctly, because that's going to do that. Anyhow, that's how you do that. Now, I've got their group, weight class, and rating out next to their name so that it's easy to see. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to pause real quick and delete my scratches so we don't mess that up. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this together. There's a way just to take the first letter of that, and that's more formula stuff. But, all right, I'm going to pause it real quick, and I'll do that maybe. Alright, and we're back. And I know my microphone's probably not perfect or whatever, but we're going to go with what we got here, turn up the volume, whatever, still kind of see what we're doing. Alright, I've got my scratches removed, so now I'm going to save this. It's important that you save it as a CSV file, not an Excel file. So we'll go in here and we'll change it to comma delimited right here. And we'll go week 1. Just us for now, do the other teams later. Alright, and then we'll hit save. Yep. Alright, and now it should be on your computer somewhere where you saved it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open this just in Notepad, something really easy to get to so you can actually see the commas. So we'll open it in Notepad, which makes it hard to read, but that's how Track's going to want it with the comma delimited. You know, it's separated by commas. Basically, what comma delimited means. So we're going to come in here and you have to delete these stupid things like one at a time if you don't do it right. So we're going to copy this out of Notepad. This is how I do it. There might be other ways to do it. But we're going to paste it now. We're going to hit Control V or or right click and paste. So now we've got the data down here in this opening down here, okay? And we want the comma to be the delimiter. And so before we do this, I'm going to check teams and make sure Raptors. Oh, there's no teams listed. If you already have them listed, make sure it's written correctly. But there's no teams listed, so it should just add it for me. Yeah. Cross our fingers on that. So again, paste it in here. It's comma. So the first is the team name. The second is the first name. And the third is the last name. And then we've got age. Oh, I put age as grade because there's no real age. You can do date of birth, but so I'll do age as grade, and so we can use that as part of our separation criteria. But really, you're using, your group as your separation criteria. So, but I just want it listed there. And we've got actual weight, which is important right now. Okay. And then instead of weight class, you really don't want to do that. I learned the hard way. I just put extra field there. Okay. And then the other little trick is instead of actually using skill level, I use that as separation criteria. And then finally, group is last. I'm going to cross our fingers and hit upload. "65 wrestlers successfully added." Hooray! Alright, so let's go look. Phoenix Allier, and it's got the data. He's in the right group here. He's got the weight here. Now again, weight class you don't want it filled yet because you're going to create weight classes later. Okay. So far so good. So right here, Scramble Pairings is where you're going to create your weight class. Right? Under operator bracket and Scramble Pairings right here. Okay. So we'll do that a little bit later. We don't really have any good examples because we're on the same team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pause it again and add the other team. Give you an example of what we're doing now. All right. But that's really how you get them in there, and then we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Make sure you have mats added, the number of mats that you're going to use. Assigning the mats is something I'll show you the day of if you're interested, and you're there at one of our Raptor events. I can show you. But basically, you're going to do that after you match everybody up. And you match everybody up, you click Scramble Pairings under bracketing. And you've got everybody listed here now. You've got them by team name, separation criteria, grade, weight. Separation criteria will mess with you. That's something you got to be careful about. So you want to go in here into, you want to find it. You want to go to Setup, Separation Criteria. And you'll notice in here there's all kinds of crazy stuff and some bad imports, there's weight classes and whatnot. So what I want you to notice though is that there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then there's also this excellent, good, average, beginner. You want to get rid of that. If you import it correctly, you won't have a whole lot to do here. But I'm going to pause and do this real quick, and then I'll show you what you want. Alright, like I said, you'll have the criteria value that you imported, but then they'll have in here, and I want you to notice that excellent was 1, good is 2, average is 3, beginner is 4. So they kind of have it in there backwards from what I don't think it really matters, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in there and follow that and put it in there backwards, where the number 1 is the best, And so that's kind of tricky. For us, it's a 4. So 4, the priority is going to be 1. And, you know, that. So it's kind of inverse. That's another little trick here that'll screw with you. But I'm going to play with it. One thing I've learned, and these won't be final. You can delete them really easy, so you can play around with it pretty well. But you know, the lower the more narrow the field, the less bad matchups you have. And I do this the morning of, after my scratches. You got don't pair and pair. You can manually pair 2 people. So I could pair Ed and Jordan here manually, and now they're paired up. You know, and so they're both checked, and I can easily go up here and hit delete selected pairings to undo that. So I can kind of play around with this a little bit. I can hit don't pair and click 2 people, and that'll keep them from ever being paired, and so on and so forth. So, you know, what I like to do is, instead of doing it really big, I like to go division, and we got some bad divisions in here. So let me fix that. Here's what we want. I'm not really too worried about the age or whatever here, but that's been imported over. So I'm going to alright, there we go. We're left with that. We'll come back over here to bracketing and scramble pairings. And so what I like to do is keep it real narrow. I go, you know, I'll start with Bantam, and a weight tolerance of 10%. You know, a division tolerance, well, that doesn't matter right now, 1, but, and then a skill tolerance. I mean, we could go to 2, or really just start at 1. Desired match count is 2. Max allowed is 2. I could up that to 4, but right now I'm going to leave that at 2 because I'm going to do cross division matchups later. What's really cool about this is that I got this set however I want. Maybe I'll move it to 12%. Not a lot of people here. And I'll hit auto pair. I can also hit view possible. So when I hit view possible, it'll show me see, red is a big deal. It's like, under this criteria, Ed has no one to wrestle. Jace, and you know, these people in Bantams, these Bantams currently have no one to wrestle, which I'm not too worried about these guys. We'll bump them up in age group, but Jace being a 4, you know, that's pretty normal. It's hard to find a 4, a Bantam 4 match, and Ed's just too little, so we'll have to manually match him. Right? So this really isn't that big a deal. You know, this gives all this. You could manually go through here if you wanted to and click based on the possible. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just go auto pair, and it'll go ahead and give me matches. It's got me a 1 match for Jordan, 1 match for Brenna, which works out. Now I can pair Ed and Jordan. Oh, I forgot to save them. Yeah, you got to do that. You got to hit create selected matches. So do auto pair. There we go. Create selected matches. I'm missing some. I gotta match them up later, right? And then I could hit this right here and delete and start all over. You know, pretty easy. And then I would do that for, you know, midget. Right? And that's pretty good. Again, except for the upper weights. And then I could do it again for junior. Auto pair. Just remember, you got to click create selected matches. And the lightweights, they'll have to go down, obviously. That's pretty normal, too. Okay. And then again for intermediate. And based on the matchups, I could just come over here and mess around. And when I get it all set up, you know what? I'll go ahead and do it real quick, because I can delete them all pretty quick. Go to Bantam. Leave it here, auto pair, create, go to midget, and leave it at 10%, and leave everything pretty narrow, auto pair and create, and then go to junior, auto pair and create, okay. Then I can see all the way down the whole list people who don't have matches. These midgets and juniors could, you know, need to be up and down. But again, that's what I'll do is I'll go now, and I'll do all divisions, and I'll increase the weight tolerance a little bit to 12%, and division tolerance, skill tolerance. Okay, go up and down one division, go up and down one skill level. I can change that if I need to, but I'm gonna change this to 3. See if anybody, and then hit auto pair, and it gives me, it gives a few more matches because it increased the tolerance. Aiden still doesn't have a match, but see now it's starting to cross match. Robbie and Aiden and Tyler. Right here, it gives Nick some matches, some junior matches. So we go up to intermediate. Nick's probably a real light guy here, or heavy, I don't know. But see, it starts to cross over between juniors and intermediates, and it starts to give those guys matches. So it runs really quick, actually. And then you'd have to manually, maybe even in the meeting, you'd have to manually match people up. He's 182 pound 4, so we'd have to, voluntarily match them guys up, so we know what we're doing. But that's how that works. I hope this helps you. Alright, so I got all my upper weights here on mat 1. Alright, now I'm going to do mat 2 for a little bit. I know anything above 95 is here, so now anything below 75 pounds, because that's the split that I created when I looked at the number of wrestlers. So now I'm moving. And what I want you to notice is, even though it looks kind of daunting right now, once you get to that limit, which for me now, for this mat today, is going to be 75. And 67 to 75. It could stay, but I'm going to move it now. 75, 78, so these could be mat 2 or 3. You just kind of level it out when you're done. But I'm going to move all the way back down to the end and then do it again. Like I said, it's not that bad. The problem is, in a meeting, you get started on this part, and people want to talk to you and ask you questions and ask where the bathroom is and how your day is. You really need to just be left alone so you can do this quickly. But if you're left alone, it's not really the end of the world. And I just think that when I'm doing this and how it's kind of a little bit of a pain, how I'm not up until 2 in the morning with a team of 3 or 4 people, manually doing this. All right, so now I want 60 and under on this mat. So anything under 60 is going to go over. And once you've been through this, you can kind of see why you need to. See, this is going to be pretty quick. 1.9, 2.4, 2.5, 2.3, 1.9 hours. So then maybe I'll move a couple more. And in my opinion, this is worth doing. Move a few over. And 2.2, 2 more. I mean, it's not too bad, and you could shift all, to your heart's content. But once you have it set up and you're pretty happy, you hit save all. And I'm not going to do that right now, but once you hit save all, if you are running Chromebooks and TVs like I do, and you're not having to, if you have to print stuff out, you just print out all your bout sheets right now. Once you hit save all, you can print all your bout sheets for the entire day right then, so they're easy to read and all that. But honestly, I really like the idea of running it electronic if you can put Chromebooks and TVs on your score tables, because then now it's done. Now you just have to log in, and Track Wrestling can show you how to do that. They have how-to videos on how to log in and run electronic score, but it's all everything's done for you, and there's no typos. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot easier for scorekeepers to keep accurate results when they use this method here. That's how I set it up. And once I get this done and I hit save all, we're ready to go. And all the mats are ready, not the Bantams first and then everybody later. So that's kind of cool too. And every time I've done it, I get faster at doing it, and hopefully we can get more people in the league doing it. If you want help or instruction on how to do it, let me know, and I'll walk you through it. Good luck this season. Adios. Alright, so I got all my upper weights here on mat 1. Alright, now I'm going to do mat 2 for a little bit. I know anything above 95 is here, so now anything below 75 pounds, because that's the split that I created when I looked at the number of wrestlers. So now I'm moving, and what I want you to notice is, even though it looks kind of daunting right now, once you get to that limit, which for me now, for this mat today, is going to be 75. And 67 to 75. It could stay, but I'm going to move it now. 75, 78. So these could be mat 2 or 3. You just kind of level it out when you're done. But I'm going to move all the way back down to the end and then do it again. Like I said, it's not that bad. The problem is, in a meeting, you get started on this part, and people want to talk to you and ask you questions and ask where the bathroom is and how your day is. You really need to just be left alone so you can do this quickly. But if you're left alone, it's not really the end of the world. And I just think that when I'm doing this and how it's kind of a little bit of a pain, how I'm not up until 2 in the morning with a team of 3 or 4 people, manually doing this. Alright, so now I want 60 and under on this mat. So anything under 60 is going to go over. And once you've been through this, you can kind of see why you need to see. This is going to be pretty quick. 1.9, 2.4, 2.5, 2.3, 1.9 hours. So then maybe I'll move a couple more. And in my opinion, this is worth doing. Move a few over. And 2.2, 2 more. I mean, it's not too bad, and you could shift all, to your heart's content. But once you have it set up and you're pretty happy, you hit save all. And I'm not going to do that right now, but once you hit save all, if you are running Chromebooks and TVs like I do, and you're not having to, if you have to print stuff out, you just print out all your bout sheets right now. Once you hit save all, you can print all your bout sheets for the entire day right then, so they're easy to read and all that. But honestly, I really like the idea of running it electronic if you can put Chromebooks and TVs on your score tables, because then now it's done. Now you just have to log in, and Track Wrestling can show you how to do that. They have how-to videos on how to log in and run electronic score, but it's all everything's done for you, and there's no typos. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot easier for scorekeepers to keep accurate results when they use this method here. that's how I set it up. And once I get this done and I hit save all, we're ready to go. And all the mats are ready, not the Bantams first and then, everybody later. So that's kind of cool too. And every time I've done it, I get faster at doing it. And hopefully we can get more people in the league doing it. If you want help or instruction on how to do it, let me know and I'll walk you through it. Good luck this season. Adios.